Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and this is Adam 1.2. We got a reboot of Adam, and I hope you like the direction that we're going in with this. We're just gonna start question of the week. Here we go.
What the heck is going on here?
Oops.
What's up, human beings? Welcome back to a Games and Groceries question of the week video. That's not the Adam remake. I will always be Adam. That's our boy Kevin. He was the best man at our wedding, so he's here to visit for the week, and we thought we would include him into the question of the week, which was, if you could make any sort of remake on any beloved game, like the Link's Awakening remake, what game would it be? You got your answers in. We have 4 answers, so let's get started with the first one.
So our first answer comes from Peter_graphic, and this is on Instagram.
Yep.
And he says, The Haunting, starring Poltergeist.
I don't know if you two, have you played this game at all?
No, never have.
I think I don't know if I've heard of it.
It's an interesting game where it was in like the PC, older PC era, where you play the ghost of this rebel teenager that's going into the home of these. Okay, so I'm trying to explain it really well. So this rebel teenager, he died because of a skateboard manufacturing error, and now he's haunting the house of the skateboard manufacturer's family, and he's trying to get them to leave their house. And he pull all these sorts of pranks and try to get them to scare so hard that they leave their house. It's a fun little game.
Sounds fun. I want to play.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Sure.
I think if this were to be a complete remake in the way we see Link's Awakening, I think it would sell. Would you guys play that?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah. It seems like this would be a Switch title, though, for
Oh,
sure. Like,
Oh yeah, I would definitely play it on Switch.
Switch or PC. You know,
Yeah.
if this was on consoles, I don't think it would go as well. But with the way that it's played out, and that's the other thing, I wouldn't want it to be, third person. I would like it to be in the same way that it was.
Yeah.
Top down, kind of pranking. You can see their faces.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So thanks, Peter Graphic.
Next one we have is from Blazing_D.
Ooh.
It says Netstorm.
Netstorm. Another game. Have you two played this game?
Never heard of it.
Okay. Netstorm.
This is a great episode.
Yeah. Netstorm was a PC title that came out 1996 or 97. It was in the late 90s that this game came out. What was interesting about this game, actually, it was a real-time strategy game. It had story, and it had kind of like the bots playing. Hey, there's our dog. But it was mostly the multiplayer that really got you hooked in. I also have another screenshot of this up, and what this was is that you face other players. I think it was up to 8 players you could face against, and the whole point of the game is to get the other person's priest in the game, and you take that priest and bring it to your own priest in your camp, and that priest will sacrifice the other player's priest, and that's how you win the game. So this is like a real-time strategy multiplayer game. I think this would be a great just PC title though, and if it were to be remade with our graphics, right? That's what I would like about this, to be completely remade from the bottom up, and a good multiplayer real-time strategy. I think it was ahead of its time when it first came out in the late 90s. But is this a game that you think you would play a lot?
I don't think I would play it in that way, but if it was like a storyline game, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, it did have its story to it. It was very bizarre. It was Netstorm, something of the islands, War on the Islands. So it had a very unique story. Let's put it that way. But
yeah, but I mean, if it was like in a form of like God of War, like something like that, like in that way type of video game, I would definitely play that.
Oh, for sure. All right, so our next answer actually comes from our boy Nick DiPaolo, who's also making a game called Adam's Ascending, named after me. That is a fact. Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
No, don't think so.
Oh, sorry, Nick. It's not named after me. But
I think he knew that.
yeah. But Nick DiPaolo has this to say. He says, Metal Gear Solid. I'm not surprised. But in the exact form of the original with improved graphics, not how Twin Snakes was done. Soundtrack redone with orchestra and so on. And I agree with most remakes, right? I think the only reason why you would want a new remake is if there's like some camera issues or control issues, or it needs to be brought back to light. And I think a good Metal Gear Solid with the same top down, you can see the enemies. It's more strategy, right? Kevin, did you ever play the Metal Gear Solid games?
I did not. Sorry.
Dang.
I'm terrible at this.
I never played it.
I know.
But I also feel like
I'm a
Nick
terrible
Capella's
gamer.
answer every week is Metal Gear Solid.
Exactly. Just like my answers will always be Assassin's Creed.
It's okay. Mine are always Life is Stranger Sims.
Yeah.
Not this week, though, because they're both too new.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
But I agree with him that it needs to be the original Metal Gear Solid. You can't really play that with a new camera. I like the way Resident Evil 2 had the new camera. I think that was necessary, in my opinion. But in Metal Gear Solid, the original, I think that the top-down was needed for that game, but with better graphics and a better soundtrack, that would sound amazing. I would play that. You two would play it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And our final answer comes from @CommanderNikki, and she says, I'd love the complete Mass Effect trilogy and DLCs as HD remaster. Also, HD remasters of all the Elder Scrolls games. Is there Wind Waker for the Switch?
So the first thing she points out is a remaster. And before I continue, I would like to point out that the difference between a remake and a remaster is merely just taking the same game, but putting it probably in a new engine or upping the contrast. It's putting it into HD. You're pretty much running it through a brand new engine, whereas a complete remake is what Link's Awakening and Resident Evil 2 did, which is you made the game from the ground up with brand new stuff, I guess.
Controls, art, everything.
Yeah, everything's made from the ground up. Whereas a HD remaster, you're taking the same sort of game, but bringing it back to life. Now, she asks, is there a Wind Waker for Switch?
Which, as of right now, there is not.
There is not.
Wii U, there was, but not for the Switch.
No. This boy is a big Zelda fan over here. I keep telling him to make a Zelda podcast, but he won't listen to me.
Never know.
Never know.
Never know.
But yeah, I even asked Kevin just to make sure. Like, I guess I don't think there's Wind Waker for Switch, but I don't think there is.
Not yet.
No, not even.
Maybe soon.
Maybe that would be cool.
Just port it over. It's fine.
But I agree. Yeah. But I agree that there needs to be a complete Mass Effect trilogy with the DLCs. I think that's needed, especially Mass Effect Andromeda, or if they're trying to revive the Mass Effect license. I think a Mass Effect trilogy HD remaster, that's completely necessary. And you've seen me play a Mass Effect. Is it a game you like and enjoy?
It's not my type of game. I'm not really into like the space type stuff, but it's interesting.
Yeah. You played Mass Effect.
I never had, but I should.
Oh my goodness, Kevin.
We're doing great.
I'm a
this
terrible
week.
gamer. It's fine.
Yeah.
First admit it.
There's
Well,
no terrible gamers
I know,
in
I
our
know.
community.
I know.
Yeah. So those are the answers that we got from social media. And if you would like to be a part of these videos, definitely follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter @GamingGroceries and Instagram GamesandGroceries, all one word. There we go. But we would like to hear your answers, those who are watching us in the future, I guess. Comment down below. What game from your past do you want a remaster of? Or a remaster or a remake? Comment down below. We would love to hear your answers. So that brings us back to us, what our answers are. So I think we're going to start with our guest because that's what good hosts do.
Good job.
Yay.
Kevin, what game would you love a remake of in the same light as Link's Awakening?
Remake? I was actually going to say, even though Zelda is my thing,
Yeah.
the original Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Because it was before they had a lot of mechanics of the second and later on games.
Yeah.
And like you'd fall into water, you drown, things like that. Whereas later on, a lot more storytelling, a lot more branching out and different many things you can do on the side and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's like there's a lot more they could do with the original Assassin's Creed because it had a great storyline.
Yeah.
But then, make it so that it's more in line with the current games.
That's true. And that's the thing. I don't think the original Assassin's Creed really holds up, especially when you play Assassin's Creed 2. And they did a whole remaster of the Ezio collection. They did nothing for Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah.
They made it Xbox One X compatible.
They made it free to download, basically.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Fantastic. But I agree that a complete remake of the original Assassin's Creed, I think a lot of people would enjoy, and fixing all those problems that you just said.
No, for sure.
Liz, what about you? what game would you love a complete remake of?
So this was a little harder for me because, as I've said before, I didn't play a ton of video games growing up, but we did have an N64.
Yeah.
And there were two of my favorite games. I had a couple favorite games, but the two that were my favorite were Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
I was terrible at it.
Yeah.
But it was one of my favorite. I loved playing Pokemon Snap. And Glover, which I don't think is as big as I thought it was when I was growing up, but I loved Glover. And I just think it would be really nice to see how they would remaster those or remake those and just see it like in better quality and different mechanics and just different courses and things like that. And even the Pokemon Snap game having like newer Pokemon and things like that, just like things they've added and everything. I think it'd be really cool and fun.
Yeah, I think so. Put Score Bunny in Pokemon Snap. Hashtag Score Bunny in Pokemon Snap.
Okay.
Thanks.
What about you?
What about me? Oh, there's a fly. The game that comes into my mind immediately, I don't know why, but it was the Punisher game that came out in the original Xbox, PlayStation 2 generation. But the Punisher game that came out on this generation, it was fantastic. It was brutal. I think the story holds up. The voice actor behind the Punisher, it was spot on. I'm a huge Punisher fan. I got a lot of signed comics. It's near and dear to my heart. Netflix show, but that game was fantastic. And if they remade that game from the ground up, I think it would hold up. And I think it would definitely get that M-rated title. And it would also come into light like, oh, video games make people violent. So maybe it's not the best example, but that's my answer. Personally,
those are our answers for what games we would like to be remade or remastered. And again, let us know down in the comments what games you would choose, and like and give a share if you guys enjoyed this episode. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you get told anytime that we post videos like this or any of our other content that we have. That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.